What's up, everyone? I'm Jeff,
Yeah, I'm Silas Olson.
and you're listening to Death Metal Daddies.
So what are you thinking for like theme wise or do you have an idea of how you want to do this?
That's what I was kind of wanting to talk to you about. So I have some notes for today. So since it's obviously like the beginning episode, or if we just want to do this as like a dry run kind of thing, as
Hmm.
if we are on a podcast, kind of the rundown. I was thinking like introduce yourselves. Like I'm Jeff. I'm Silas. Um, Introduce the show as Death Metal Daddies, and the goal of it is to more or less because there's kind of not really a niche for um, people of our age who have actually, I'm trying to think of a non-judgmental way to say it, but people who don't make death metal their entire life and still have like other hobbies outside of
Yeah.
it, navigating it with parenthood and stuff like that, and just
Yeah, for
getting
sure.
older and stuff, and also seeing all of the new generation and stuff, and just kind of helping with like that, talk about hobbies, parent stuff, and then also just talking about death metal, obviously talking about album reviews, upcoming shows, and stuff like that. So I was even thinking of the
Yeah.
idea of if we were to keep this going, is you on your own time, me on my own time, or even we could tag team it from time to time. Pick an album, review it, and just upload that as an episode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
How
I
about
think
you?
that'd be really sweet. And I think that it would be interesting because I don't know, the older that I get, the more I actually feel like I'm getting out of touch with metal. I feel like the traditional adult, as far as what used to be my most favorite style of music, is like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of drifting away from keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, and
Mm-hmm.
like all the releases and shit. And
Yeah,
I do not give it the time that I used to. And so that difference is interesting. It's an interesting path to cross because I used to be that kid that would look at those older adults that are getting so out of touch with what they used to keep up with and make fun of them, or not make fun of them, but just always make fun of the thought of being that old person. It's just like I never
yeah, I
I
get that
never
same
really
feeling.
saw myself I never saw myself becoming that old person, but nowadays I feel like I wouldn't say like old, but I'm definitely feeling that aspect of I'm just not staying as up to date on everything as I felt like I used to.
Yeah,
But you know,
I'm the same way because I remember you when we were living together. You would get annoyed about how often certain bands would put stuff out. But now I'm at the age like they just came out with an album. Then I look and it's like 3 years ago.
yeah. Yeah, I know. It definitely seems like the 2 year album gap isn't anything anymore.
Yeah,
And then, you think about bands that release still to this day every year, and it's just like, holy shit, man, like that band's obviously doing something like just
yeah,
constantly. I don't know. And I used to harp on that thought too, like a lot more. I used to be a lot more harsh with that thought in that I would think that just because the band's releasing shit every year, that it's just kind of garbage. I
yeah,
would immediately be like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to give that much time. But then I look back and It Comes in Waves by the Acacia Strain um, that was a year released right after or right before Slow Decay. And both of those albums are absolutely badass epic in my opinion. Especially It Comes in Waves. That album was so important to me. So
Well, also, I think with those two, and I think just with the Geisha strain in general, I don't even know if especially those two releases, they feel like one and the same, almost like they're supposed to be in tandem, almost. Kind of like how with their new two releases is pretty much the same, but just different vibes, or how on
hmm.
Coma Witch they have that Observer song kind of thing. So they're kind of same, I feel, but I see what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like, I don't know. I love how that band can just it's crazy how they did release their recent two Step Into the Light and then Failure Will Follow. It's crazy how like you said that they sound the same, but they are so different in what
Mhm.
they each are. And it made perfect sense to split those up, because the songs to me sound super different. I mean, each album sounds super different, but it's just I don't know. I just think it's a new appreciation of how much different shit they can do in such a short span of time.
Yeah. And do you also feel like as you're older, you're getting into more different music and different genres?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I've been feeling the same way. Like, because I don't know for the longest time I hated country, but
Yeah.
now I've been listening to a lot of country. Well, specific types of country, not like every single country artist. I'm not listening to Garth Brooks. I'm not listening to like the early '90s country, but like
Yeah.
Tyler Childers, Chris Stapleton, Marcus King. Like,
Oh yeah.
if it
Well,
has
it's just
bluesy kind of feel, that's what I'm gonna be into. I've been listening to a lot of that.
yeah, absolutely, definitely in a lot of the hard rock country. And I have to admit, but like I mean, I listen to just about everything as far even radio country, man. It's just like I don't know. I would absolutely have made fun of myself if I heard me saying this in high school, but um, I can dig a newer country song every now and then. I don't know that I have the balls to drop the artist names right now, but um, that's definitely still one thing that I'm finding a difference in my fellow metalhead circle of friendships. It's like, the newer country that I do listen to on a daily basis. If I have the radio on or whatever, I guarantee no matter what song comes on, I'm gonna recognize it just because I keep that station on in my vehicle when I
Yeah,
drive to work. And so, unless I have my Bluetooth hooked up, but it's like the fact that I know so much new modern country is I'm sure it would I don't know, a lot of the devout metalheads would be like, yeah, I don't know about that one, dude. But
yeah,
whatever, man, it's like I really dig a catchy tune, something that really catches my attention, and then I like to dissect it and think about the writing that went into it, think about the words that make up the actual song. I just, I don't know. It's all about songwriting. And I think
yeah.
that country artists are really good at it.
Yeah, I think it for me. It still depends on what type it is. Yeah, there is some kind of. I feel like it's kind of like rap with rap. I still like rap, but when it comes to like a party rap song, it doesn't matter to me. Like same with kind of like popular country. Like it's just how it makes me feel at that moment. It's not too much. But then there's some this new wave of the country music that's coming out of the more folksy and bluesy. That's also just I'm almost digging them like I would when I was younger with the metal bands of getting like, oh, this new album's coming out, listen to it from front to back, figure out all this stuff. But
Hmm.
I also have been noticing as I've been getting older, trying to go back and listen to older stuff too. And I don't know if it's now that I'm older. Like I recently have been starting to listen to Motorhead,
Hmm.
just like the old stuff, and I'm seeing like that's something I like to look into is when that came out. How was that perceived? Like, is that what?
At that time.
Yeah, kind of like how
Yeah.
like how that was perceived at the time. That was the heaviest thing at the time, besides Black Sabbath.
Right.
And then
Well,
also
it's like
hearing.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like this is kind of veering off topic on that, but in the same train of thought. But it's like I was listening to CCR
Hmm.
the other day, and I was just thinking, I was like, damn, dude, like it's its own kind of heavy for its time. I
Hmm.
felt like, I felt like when that came out, dudes must have just been like, holy shit, man, this is some heavy fucking swamp shit. It's like, I don't know. That's just the vibes that band gives me. And it's just, it's interesting because I watched a documentary about it and they all sound like they were like, they came straight out of the swamps, like 50 years old with these rough ass voices. But really, the dudes were young,
Hmm.
and he just sounded like he was from the swamps, but they also had that was like kind of a low-key goal for them was to sound like they were from like a swamp style kind of roughneck music. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thought. Kind of veered off topic
Are
there,
you good?
but
Yeah, we are kind of. I feel like it's a mutual thing. We're both kind of getting more off the metal. I mean, this is just kind of what it's about. Is I mean, you're getting older. Obviously, we still listen to death metal stuff, but we also just try to, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted you. And that's something I was wanting to bring up is that I feel like we had similar growing up when it came to that heavier stuff. Was we got introduced more through like the classics like Slayer and stuff like that, and then deathcore
Hmm.
came out, and that's when we kind of like went on the deathcore train and branched out to the other genres. And you would bring me stuff like you brought me bands that I still listen to, like Bong Ripper, Electric Wizard,
Oh yeah.
all these different genres, even black metal. You got me more into black metal and stuff like that. So that's why I was wanting
Yeah.
you on here because, yes, we listen to, now that we're older, we're listening to more than just metal, but you listen you're I try to do the same thing to where we try to listen to all the different types of metal, see what's all going out there, because I can't just stay in one genre and expect like this is only the type of good genre, like how a lot of the core kids nowadays, unless it's deathcore, it sounds like deathcore, it's not good metal or stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. It's weird to think of those diehard genre fans too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that only listen to deathcore.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it's like I'd go fucking nuts in a day in that life. Like to me, it's just I listen to so much deathcore that it all just starts to sound like fucking chuggy chuggy boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like
Speaking of that, did you see the
it.
Summer Slaughter lineup?
Oh yeah, it got shit on real quick.
Yeah, they even changed the tagline.
Oh, did they?
It was the most extreme metal tour of the year or something like that. And they
Oh,
changed it to something. I forget what it was, but they actually did change it
oh wow.
because I
Yeah,
guess
it
people
wasn't
kept
too
posting the
extreme at all.
Devastation of the Nation tour, which is like Morbid Angel and a bunch of bands like that. Like you can't say you're more extreme than this band when Veil of Maya is your headliner.
Yeah. And I'd say that Veil of Maya, in my opinion's the best on that lineup. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really get into the other bands. I've given them a chance here and there. Brand of Sacrifice, I guess they're probably one of the others that I've given the most chances, but that's even another band that I just haven't even delved into, really.
I feel like with that band they're okay, but they're one of those bands that they were very talked about a lot. Like they were
Mm.
they were going to be like the new Whitechapel kind of thing, but they
Yeah, they
aren't
came out the
doing
gate
that.
with huge hype.
Yeah, and but I don't feel like they're really doing that much newer stuff. Like
Yeah.
people are calling them deathcore, some people are calling them slam. I see a little bit of slam, but it's mostly just like heavy deathcore with a lot of electronics.
Yeah, it's like a lot of this high-tech electronic fucking
Hmm.
sound, and I don't know. It's just kind of like too fast paced for me, and it's just they're one of those bands where it's like every song sounds traditionally like them, which I guess is a good thing, or signaturely like them, I should say, but it's which can be a good thing, but for me, I don't know, man. I'm just not really moved by it.
Yeah, the only band I saw on there I was somewhat interested was Cabal, and that's because
Yeah.
they never come
Oh
good.
yeah, man.
And I've kind of stayed
Yeah.
up with them.
Yeah, they are pretty good. I forgot they were on there too. I've heard of 1056. I've never listened to them, but I've seen some um, musicians in the area that have talked about them and said that they're pretty good, but I don't know. I haven't given them a real listen or even looked them up yet. So I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of a lackluster tour, I guess you could say, is what a lot of the people were bitching about, but
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what comes of it, I guess. I'm still wishing they'd bring back Mayhem Festival because, man, I'll never get over those tours and how badass they were.
I wish I would have gone to a real Mayhem instead of like it was a fun memory, but
Oh, yeah.
the
You know what? I forgot that was even a Mayhem Festival.
it was
When I think
supposed to
of
be.
Mayhem festivals,
Because I
yeah,
remember
when I think of,
you asked the front hostess ladies, like, "Hey, so when's the concert start?" And she gave you the thing, like, "Where's Die Artist Murder? Where's Sworn In?"
yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm really looking forward to seeing this man. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be here or something like that. But yeah, it was just like I just remember being jaw dropped disappointed in that moment. I could have cried.
I,
But
so for me and him, when we were, what was it, 2014, 2015?
2015, I believe.
Yeah, we tried to drive all the way to Des Moines for what we thought was a Mayhem Fest date. And we got there, we got the hotel because it was a hotel, casino, and venue all in one. It was going to be this big thing. We were so excited. some of the bands
It's
that
supposed to be
just
like a
released their
20 plus
best
band
albums.
lineup.
Yeah, some of the bands that just released their best albums, like Thyre's Murder just released Holy War, Sworn In was on the Death Card,
Oh yeah,
Slayer just
Code
released
Orange.
Repentless. What's that?
Code Orange, they had
Yeah,
just released I Am
was it
King,
I Am King?
which is a fucking badass album. Yeah, I Am King.
Yeah,
And that
it was
I
gonna be
mean,
great. I mean, it
yeah.
was still fun, but then we got out there and find out it's an off date with Slayer, King Diamond, Hell Yeah, Whitechapel, and the Devil Wears
Whitechapel.
Prada.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about okay, so like there's definitely I mean just about every single one of those bands is legendary in their own ways, but so for those reasons it was a good show, but just not the show we were expecting for sure. And I still think to this day that I have back problems that stem from that crowd surfing mosh pit that I got into with Slayer when they went on because I couldn't help it, man. That huge ass dude was just tossing people up there. You want to go? You want to go? And then finally looks at me, points at me, you want to go? I was like, hell yeah, dude. And then he sends me up and I'm crowd surfing. Do it the first time, get caught by security and gracefully brought down the front, and then I just run around, go find that guy again, and I get up and I crowd surf to the front, and then no security to rescue me, and then just boom, straight like 6 foot drop right onto my back. Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm hanging in the back after that one. But it was totally worth it. I mean, who can, not everyone could say they've crowd surfed a Slayer.
And didn't you break a rib?
I think so, yeah, because it hurt every time I coughed.
Yeah, not everyone can say they broke a rib to Slayer.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. So,
Oh, and
yeah,
we met Vinnie Paul in the casino.
yeah, I know. Harris, yeah, just chilling in here. As I had to run up to him, I was like, "Dude, that's Vinnie Paul." I believe we were sitting on a blackjack table,
Hmm.
and I just saw him walk down with like four security guards, and he walked straight to the bars, and I'm pretty sure we were mid game, and I think I just kind of lost my ass. So I looked at you, I was like, "Dude, that's Vinnie Paul." I've got to go see Vinnie Paul. I've got to go see if I get a picture. You're like, I don't know, man. And I don't think you really believed me at first. And then I went and got a picture and I came back and I was like, dude, I just met Vinnie Paul. And you're like, what? I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I was like, hell yeah. Oh,
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
no, nope. No pun intended.
Yeah, I will say that that concert got me into King Diamond because I don't think I would have because he's kind of a different thing to get
Ah!
into.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely out there in his own weird style, but I don't know. He oddly, yeah, I mean, can you imagine a guy coming to you for band practice and he's like, "Hey, I've got this idea. I'm gonna wear this makeup and then I'm gonna sing in this high falsetto." No, no.
They're just like, I don't know about this. Like, don't worry, I have this one song about tea time.
Yeah. But like Egypt is literally, oh, Egypt. It's like, what? Right on, man. I don't know.
So
It's
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, on that King Diamond, it's like that style. I try to think of their first days that they ever met their other fellow musicians and sold their style. But another guy like that is like AC/DC. I couldn't imagine going to a band practice and then just being like, or or just in that style. I just think it's so ridiculous, but hey, it worked. I mean, they're huge, I guess, for a reason. So I don't know. It's hard to dog, but I don't know. Just interesting.
So I'm going to move on down to the next part of my list.
Like, yeah, okay. That sucked.
Enough about memory lane. Let's stay focused on
Yeah.
here. But no, I was just talking about family stuff. Like I said, trying to find the ways to, because so like I remember growing up, like how we were, and then getting to being a father. There's a big change. Like I remember, for example, you remember my "I Declare War" shirt that I got rid of when Annie was
Oh
born.
yeah. Yeah, the one that you gave me.
Oh, I gave it to you.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I
I
still
thought I
have
threw it
it.
away. That makes more
No,
sense.
the one with the noose on the back.
No, not that one. I was thinking of
Oh,
the one that
okay.
said "Eat pussy, chug whiskey, hail Satan."
Oh yeah, no. No, I didn't get that one. I got the one with the noose on the back, and Lex still hates whenever I wear that one.
Oh yeah, I had to get rid of that after the neighbor and the other neighbor being racist to that neighbor fiasco. It's like, there's some connotations with this when I am walking outside and that's going on. So
It just it reminds me of the Step Brothers movement when or shot whenever they're trying to sell the house and he's dressed up as a KKK guy mowing the grass or whatever. Hello. It's like holy shit because it's got a noose on the back and it says we are violent people by nature.
yeah, like I
I'm
can't.
like, oh my
I
God.
was hoping there would be something else on it, but there's not anything like out of context and then put in that context with what was going on with my neighbor. Because so we had a mixed couple who just moved in, and the neighbors across the street put a Confederate flag in the window that's facing that house. Wasn't there before, but
Oh
it is now.
shit.
It's like, oh, okay,
Oh
yeah,
no. I didn't
yeah. And
even know
then I
this
go out and mow
happened.
my lawn, and then I realize, oh shit, I'm wearing like I don't want to contribute to this tension that's going on.
Like the neighbors are teaming up,
Like, yeah,
racist
you get
street.
it, brother, kind of thing. No, no, I'm not part of this.
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, just like stuff like that, and then also, I'm trying to think of other examples. Like, I can't really listen to some of the stuff that I used to listen to just all the time in my car when I'm dropping off the kids. Like, I can't listen to like Infinite Annihilator when I'm dropping off the Annie at school.
Yeah. Hey, Daddy, what's this band?
I did play it once, and I just called it. She asked what the band was. I just called it Annihilator because
Oh, okay.
she got into. I was listening to Lorna Shore one day, and she really liked that like pig squeal sound in To the Hellfire. And so I was like,
Oh, okay.
this band does it too. And showed it to her. She's like, oh, it's cool, kind of thing. That was about it. What's it called? It's Annihilator. I'm not gonna get into this thing,
Yeah.
but I've been trying to
I mean,
slowly get her into it. Like I took her to Macedon. She really
that is
liked that.
awesome.
But she mostly was there just for Lorna Shore because they were opening, and then she was wanting to go to see Knocked Loose because she really likes the Arf Arf and Counting Worms. She like knows the lyrics
Oh,
and will
okay.
sing it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, my buddy Josh that does the guitars injector, his daughter actually just went to Knock Loose with his with her mom. So it was just the mom and the daughter that went to Knock Loose. But that's a band, speaking of, that I will say I never really got by them until that Suffocate song, man. That song is
Yes,
heavy as shit.
hell yeah.
I love
Like
that song.
I was very skeptical when I saw it was featuring Poppy,
Yeah, she's
but
kind of
she
weird, it seems like.
yeah, but I think she did great, especially with that primal scream right before that breakdown.
Yeah, for sure. She hit the vibes really good, you could say, because I mean it's I don't know. I saw she was gonna be in it. I just saw her name and I'm just like, had that same thought. It's like, what the fuck? What is this gonna be like? But no, I think it meshed really well. And she was supposed to be on tour with Deftones and Gojira a year or two back, and
Hmm.
I want to say it was like pandemic era, and it got canceled because of it, because COVID was just fucking shutting shit down so much then, and I think that whole tour got scrapped. But that was a show I was thinking about going to.
Yeah, I remember that one. I was thinking about it, but I think that would have been more of your out. So I like Deftones, but I feel like you're a bigger fan than I am.
Yeah, I definitely love Deftones, man. I'll always have a huge love for that band.
Have you tried to get Lux and all of them into metal yet? Have you tried to introduce them
So
slowly?
yeah, so we're thinking that Stella is going to be the metalhead. I don't really think Lux is too big into metal.
Okay.
She's always requesting Who Let the Dogs Out, and let's see, there's some like country songs like Lainey Wilson she requests and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'll play some metal and she'll kind of act like she's headbanging here and there, but really I just don't see her super liking it a lot. She's not requesting it, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna force it, but I'll be jamming it on my own, and Stella will come around and she'll just like headbang and like do this little scrunchy metal face. I'm like, hell yeah, okay. Might have a metalhead here. So I'm sure it's really cool though to see your kid get into metal, man. I bet that's friggin' a proud moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how much of it is her actually liking it or if it is more of just like, hey, I want to spend more time with dad kind of thing, kind of, get closer kind of thing. I feel like that's mostly
Yeah,
what
for
it is.
sure.
It's hard to tell. I know Jensen also has been singing the Knocked Loose song too. They both know the lyrics word for afterward.
Really?
Yes.
That's
And
crazy.
that's one of those reasons why I don't really know if I can take Annie because it's I can't take both of them because I had to hold Annie the entire time I went to Macedon,
Oh
and I
shit.
can't hold both of them, and I'm not going to let them just walk around at a knock loose show because they're more of the hardcore
Yeah.
style where there's going to be like
Yeah.
bodies on bodies, and
Tons of
it's fun,
kicks
but
and
not for kids.
yeah. Yep. I think the next metal show that I'm looking at going to is that Korn and Gojira. It really has got my attention.
Really.
Yeah, and it's I don't even think or wait, no, there's someone badass opening. It's Korn, Gojira, and I want to say it's someone else that's heavier, but I can't remember.
I don't know if I've heard of this one or not because I feel like I
Yeah, they're gonna be rolling through late summer, but they're playing at some badass spots. I think they got an arena. It's like they might be playing at Verizon
okay
Amphitheater or whatever it is.
in St. Louis.
Me and Sammy are going to see the Biscuit in July.
Really, you're going to that one?
Yeah. Did you think about it?
Because who are they with again? Isn't it a really weird lineup?
Oh, it's some weird shit. Yeah. They're playing with this dude. His name is NATO Face, and I don't know what he does, but he's sold as like a lone dude, so I don't know. There's that guy, Corey Feldman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I think another band, and then it's hosted by Riff Raff. So
Oh my God.
yeah, should be interesting. But Sammy got us tickets, so I'm getting the hotel room, and I think we're just gonna crash there. We're just gonna party it up, have a good time.
I gotcha. Nice. I think for me, because I'm moving down to Springfield area in Memorial Day weekend, and like 3 days after, Oceano and Last 10 Seconds of Life is going to be in Springfield.
Oh man, I saw that show. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
looking good.
I really want to see Oceano again.
That would be sick. I've never got to see them. So, what day is that on? Is that on a weekday or?
It's like a Wednesday or Thursday, I want to say.
Okay.
Let me check real quick. But yeah, I think that's the next one I'm going to.
Yeah, I might have to hit that one up, even though it's on a weeknight, because man, I never got to see that band I always wanted to. But
Yeah, I recommend it.
they seem to be doing pretty good. I don't know, it doesn't seem like they're quick to release any more new stuff. Seems like they're just kind of wanting to play some shows.
Yeah, and I think they actually are working on some stuff, but this, like you said, I don't think they take it as a full-time band kind of thing. It's just
Yeah,
whenever they're ready kind of thing. But it's on
right.
the
That's the vibe
29th.
I'm getting. Oh, okay, of this month.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
that's a Wednesday.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I could probably make that work, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's them, Last 10 Seconds of Life, and I want to say Of Sulfur. Now, who is that?
That'd be cool.
Or AWIP. Who is that? Oh, Awaken Province.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. And they used to have that's where what's his name's from, right?
Yeah, Will Ramos.
Yeah, okay. That'll be interesting then.
Mhm.
Because I haven't even listened to them since they had him in the band, I guess, I believe.
I don't think I've ever actually. I think I only got in super into one song, and I think it was his like first song with the band, like this Dark and
Yeah.
Gospel. I think it was. I might be
Oh,
wrong.
okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, man, that would be a killer show. And
Yeah,
that would also be awesome because we've seen last 10 seconds of life with the other guy.
yeah. Wasn't it
So
only
we'd see
one
them with
member left from that show?
I think there's only yeah, I think there's only one original remaining, and it's been the only original ever since the first conception of the band, I believe, and that's the guitarist, I think.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I kind of like that newer vibe that they were going with instead of the like
Oh
tough
yeah.
guy shit that they were
Right.
doing.
They kind of got rid of the tough guy shit and they're going back more into the deathy vibes, I feel.
Yeah, the more
It's a lot
sinister,
of
evil kind of stuff.
yeah, pretty awesome, man, because it's and I also think the vocal style went back to what's that fucking hit song they got? Box.
Oh, the box.
The box, yeah.
And
He's
also,
I feel like
what's the other one? There's one. I made my
uh
mind up. Now I'm gonna keep you forever.
yeah, we could do this. Oh, Guilty Pleasure.
Is that the name of the song?
No, that's not the name of the song. It can't be.
That's kind of driving.
Um
Yeah, but yeah. It's more that like actual like death metal, not like a hardcore meets death metal kind of thing.
Right, yeah. So they're definitely getting back into more of the style that I kind of chase as far as the metal goes. I
Hmm.
really like that metal to kind of have that sort of evil vibes to it.
Hmm. So
Cool,
next on my
dark
list,
and evil.
Dark and Evil.
Yeah.
What's the on the remember the Bathory album that we both ordered? Wasn't there like one
Oh,
side was this theme and the other side was this theme? It wasn't like Evil and Darkness or some shit like that. Some like
yeah,
Butters from
maybe
South
so.
Park. Evil,
Yeah.
darkness and evil.
Yeah.
Up next
I
on my
remember
list.
I'm pretty sure that was the I only ordered that album because I was hoping to bank on someone sending me a fucking fortune copy of that vinyl that everyone pays fucking 500 to $1,000 for.
Yeah, the original like yellow print.
Yeah, and I was just basing my purchase off of a wild clue in the description, like, oh, this one has the red eyes, man. I don't think the other ones have the red eyes on it. So stupid, but yeah.
Did you ever get rid of your Abigail Williams Becoming vinyl?
No, I still got that.
Wasn't that like worth like 300 or something like that?
It was worth a pretty price, man, and I finally yeah, when I was looking it up, it was worth around that. I don't know that it's changed much just because, they didn't really blow up or anything and
Yeah, but
but
it's one of those since they haven't blown up, they haven't really done like a re-release of it or anything. So I feel like that would really drive up the price, especially when
right.
I feel like the hype would have been when he joined the Faceless,
Oh yeah, for sure.
because that would have
For
given him
sure.
more exposure.
Speaking of, did you see he's in Vale of Panath now too?
I did not know that until you tagged me in that or you sent me either sent me or tagged me in the Veiled Nath song. And I had to look it up.
Yeah.
It's like this sounds a little bit, and then I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
it's totally a Ken Sorceron band now. He just kind of took it over as the way it sounds.
In all honesty,
It's
I feel
like a
like he should do
different,
that with Faceless again.
yeah, and I mean, there's nothing against it, but to me, it's just like I saw Ken, he posted about it and to get the hype on it and everything, and I'm just like saying he said something along the lines of this is for any fans of the Abigail Williams what's that first album? Is that what it's called?
Oh,
That came out in like '06 or In the Shadow of a Thousand Suns or something like
oh
that.
yeah. Was that the first or
Or the,
second one?
no, A World Beyond. That's right.
Okay,
That's I think
I don't know.
that's I
I didn't
I think
get
it's like
into
their
until
first.
Becoming.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was actually their first full-length album, I'm pretty sure, but it was very much like a symphonic, really well done production, just symphonic black metal. It
I
wasn't
gotcha.
near the atmospheric that they are now, but man, I loved that album, and so I was really hyped for a second when he released this Veil of Panath or whatever, and started jamming it, but it didn't even come close to that album for me.
Yeah,
Not to bash it. I didn't even give it a really good listen, to be
you probably
honest,
came in
but I
with
don't know.
certain expectations, and since it wasn't met, it's not the you don't feel good or bad about it. It's just this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of there. But I mean, props to that dude. I feel like he works his ass off as far as metal goes.
Mhm. Up next for my list, I have hobbies. So, what do you, since we're getting older, like we obviously aren't, because back in the day, we used to have, when we lived at the house, it was we worked, we came home, we would maybe eat, and then we'd have a party or some shit, or play video games and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now that we're actually
Yeah.
adults and actually have to have responsibilities and shit, what kind of things do you find to occupy your time nowadays?
Well, so like I am really getting into landscaping. And, I mean, as ridiculous as it sounds, I don't know, I'm 33 now, and it's like I don't even know that it's an old thing. It's just I really started liking it whenever I bought our house and I had my own piece of grass to take care of. I'd never given a shit about grass until then, but I think I don't know, man. I really got into how it looks whenever it's well kept, and I don't know, makes me feel good whenever it's looking good and I get to hang out outside, throw some food on the grill, chill out, play some music. It's awesome. I don't know. That I'd say that's one of my biggest hobbies right now.
I
I
gotcha.
spend like $100 at a hardware store like every couple months. So it's just, I don't know. I'm a sucker for that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. As I've been getting older, it's kind of a similar vein because I feel like as I've gotten older, growing up and even in my adult, like 20s, I was more of an inside person. Like, what's the point of going outside? Man, build shelter to go stay inside. But as I've gotten older, I've really
Yeah.
gotten into nature and shit. Like, I really like fishing.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
always
hell
thought
yeah.
fishing was like boring. It's like I'm spending money to go sit around and wait, but now I love it. I love to fish.
Really? So how often are you fishing?
I was doing it every weekend with Annie, but since we just had the newborn with Theo, I haven't really had much time because I don't want to leave Danny, who just had the baby, to deal with a brand newborn
Right.
he's gonna needs to feed, and then a very clingy 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Especially
Sure.
now the 3-year-old wants to fish now, and I can't. I've tried taking them both, and they can't. It just gets me aggravated because they
Yeah.
aren't focusing. They walk
You're
through
like,
the
God
fishing
damn it.
lines. It's not fishing. It's
Chuck in their
just
fishing poles in the pond.
yeah.
That's it.
Or
We're
they just
going
throw
home.
it down and go play in the grass. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I took them one time and they both took off their shoes and just got in like the part where like the lake meets the mud and they're just like pitter pattering, getting
Yeah.
all covered in mud and shit.
Yeah.
Fishing
Be
poles
like,
are
no,
often
you
off
sit down
this
and you
thing.
fish.
I guess I'm not
Yeah.
fishing. We're playing in mud. Mom's gonna be mad.
Right. It just turns into a babysit trip. Yeah, I can get that where, if you're only taking one at a time, at least they're probably more likely to devote the attention to the actual practice of the fishing. So
Yeah, and really, I can
that's
only do that with Annie right now because she can actually focus and she understands what we're there for. And she understands, like
right.
she's been there when I've caught fish, so she understands. Like you jerk it, you pull it in. She can cast on her own now, and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
But also, I've
So
been
where are
getting.
you guys fishing at?
Usually, we've been going to Binder, which was really fun at first. Like we were catching like every time we went out. But as of recently, we haven't been able to catch anything, so I wanted to find a new spot. I did, however, go. There was this event going on with like this group who takes like veterans and stuff like that out. Like they
Hmm.
give them free fishing. I got a free fishing pole out of it. They let me
Oh
use
wow.
a kayak and we went kayak fishing at the lake.
Holy crap. That's
It
awesome.
it was a blast. I can't afford a kayak right now. I sold my truck, so I don't have anything to really put a kayak on. But I want to
Oh
do some more
shit.
kayak fishing. That was fun.
So I did I don't even know that I knew you had a truck.
I did for about from COVID until about last fall
Okay.
because we got
And
rid
was
of
it
it
just
because
getting too pricey or
well, it had a lot of issues. It was a Ford F-150 EcoBoost. So I
okay.
found out the common Ford F-150 issues is the back cab. Something about the water will get up there and stay up there, and it will cause rust in the back cabs, and it'll
Oh
just
shit.
spread. That was one issue. The biggest issue that was so frustrating and was draining a lot of money was because it's an EcoBoost, it has a common issue of seal or the gasket getting broken to where it will leak coolant. So I was leaking about a whole jug of coolant. I had to refill it every week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it got bad. And then I
Oh.
got what?
I was just that's crazy. Was it causing it to overheat?
Yeah, that's how I'd find out if I ran out of coolant. Or if it was hot or cold, I'd have the AC or heat on and it wasn't doing anything. That would also be a
Oh
tell for me.
yeah.
But then
Wow. Damn.
we found out Danny was pregnant again, and I had just gotten a job offer at Lebanon because we already planned on moving to Springfield, and that's in between. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, so Danny refused to, because I needed a more gas reliant car. She's like, I'm not driving that truck, and I can't drive the truck to Lebanon every day, with both because it costs $120 to fill up the tank and the other issues.
Damn.
So we sold it, got a Volkswagen Atlas for a third row so we could have another seat for the newborn.
Okay. Cool. So are you liking that?
She drives it. It's okay. I drive a Toyota Corolla now.
Oh, okay.
It's
Just for
okay.
gas.
Yeah, it's not bad. About $30 to fill
Nice.
up. as opposed to my 120 I was doing.
Oh, hell yeah, that's way better then.
But yeah, just fishing and then been reading a lot. I got a
Oh
Kindle
man, see
now.
that's one thing that I am forever behind on is my reading. But I've gotten books as a hope to, inspire me to read more, like the typical wannabe reader. And but I have gotten about I'd say a good several chapters into a book called Empire of the Summer Moon. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, what's that one?
So it's basically just the history of the Comanches and their reign on the territory of
Oh, okay, so like a
Texas and
nonfiction.
shit. Yeah. And
Okay.
it, dude, it is fucking brutal, the shit in that book.
Do you think that's
And
another
it's
thing
just,
about getting older?
yeah, I
Because like in
mean,
history
I think
more.
so. Yeah, I think so. Well, you look back and you're just like, holy shit, man, it used to be way worse. And you're always quick to think, or I feel like I am anyways. I'm always quick to think of everyday stresses and how stressful it is. But really, if you put yourself 200 years back in time, you would have way more shit up against you than you do now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel that, but I also feel like so because I've been watched something. It was talking about how there's obviously an increase in mental illnesses, and I think a lot of it. Yes, we are not in danger of our life every day. However, most of our life is built around our work, and with our work, we are had to be in constant need of contact because we have a cell phone that their boss can text us. We have emails, phones now on us, so
Right.
we are on guard at all times, which we didn't used to be had to do that except for when like obviously like cavemen preventing predators and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, history. I'm also listening to a whatchamacallit, an audiobook on Rockefeller. That's why I'm bringing up the history thing because just listening to the history part is like, man, why don't this is super interesting, and I feel like it ties into all these other things I kind of want to learn about now.
Right.
Also, like obviously, I assume you probably listen to this guy too. Listening to Shane Gillis stand-up comedy talking about history,
Oh, yes,
like
absolutely. That
God,
dude
I
is a
want to learn more about
genius.
history.
Yeah. That guy is hilarious, man. He's very knowledgeable on history though. It's crazy all the shit that he knows.
Hmm.
I'm nowhere near that, but it definitely is something that fascinates me, and I think like you said more and more so with time
Hmm.
than anything. Because I remember sitting in history classes in high school. I'm like, why the fuck am I here? I do not give a shit about what happened.
Well, yeah, because I always feel like they
It's
talk
just
every
so
year.
different
They
now.
talked about the same things over and over again. Like maybe with a little bit more depth, but it's always like I don't care about like the imports that we were bringing in the 1900s. I don't care about that kind of stuff. They don't talk
Yeah.
about like with my book, they were talking about how he used the Standard Oil Company and he monopolized it with the railroad companies to where he got a cheaper price and made everyone else's go up, so he could monopolize it and crush the other competition stuff. And he's the reason why we have monopoly laws.
Yeah, and I mean it's like I think of that movie There Will Be Blood
Hmm.
and how is okay, so this may be a stupid question, but I assume that that movie's not a true portrayal of what actually happened, or is it?
I'm
I
not
mean,
actually sure. I don't
is
actually know
that
if
how
it's a
the
true
story
story or not.
goes? Okay, yeah. See, I didn't know if this guy just literally shows up and he's just like, I'm gonna drill the earth. Let's see what we find.
No,
And
I know
then,
with
or
Rockefeller. What's that?
did he go into the idea of knowing that there was oil and that oil
So I don't think
was
There Will Be
very
Blood is
lucrative?
Rockefeller. So Rockefeller at the time there weren't automobiles, but there was an increase in idea of using oil to make other things. So he bought stock. He would start buying companies that did it. Like he would work. He started working at like a small like manufacturing thing or something like that. He worked where he started owning the refineries that were building up this oil, and he made it to where people were more interested in making things with the oil at the time.
Okay.
And then through that, there was other competitors who they saw the booming market, and he was very much against any competition because also with it, he's a super religious person, and he said it was he was the righteous one, and they were all heathens doing sinful types of jobs and shit like that. And so it was
Hmm.
his job that God wanted him to make sure that they weren't in business, and he put them on the right path. Kind of a self-righteous kind
That's
of thing.
that's crazy. That's
Like
just
he's
it's
a
just so
terrible
what.
person, but a good person at the same time because he also like created a bunch of like colleges for free for like he was very pro abolition, like getting rid of slaves, and afterwards he went down to Georgia and opened an all black women's college and just like let them go for free,
Oh
like just
wow.
because. But he was a penny pincher on everything else. Like he was mentally abusive to his kids.
Oh geez.
You allowed them one slice of cheese every night. One night, one of his daughters
What?
sneaked an extra piece of cheese, and he called her. I don't know if it was a glutton or she's selfish, and then had all the kids like circle or all the other kids circle around and say, "She's selfish. She's selfish."
Oh my gosh. That is brutal.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's a
It's
complicated
crazy how you can do, yeah, it's crazy how you can do so much good, but then so much damage too.
one. So, backing away from history. So what do I know? We're similar in some aspects, but there's other certain genres I know you gravitate more towards than me, and than me, I go to some other things. What would you say are your favorite genres within metal? What are some of your ones that you're like, I've tried, but I can't get into this one kind of thing?
First immediate one that I think of on the latter part is one that I've tried, but I just cannot get into is Imperial Triumphant. And it's like I love their aesthetics. I think it's like very mysterious looking, so like I immediately want to be into it, but then I play the music and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like what's the dude playing the brass? Is he even going to anything or is he just fucking tooting a horn in the back? You know, it's like I don't know. It's I guess there's obviously organization in there somewhere, but I have not given it enough time to really give a good enough analysis of it, that's for sure.
They are a hard band to get into. But I got into them because it was during COVID. Behemoth was doing a live stream, and they had a live opener. And Imperial Triumphant was that, and how they like
Okay.
introduced it was like the coolest shit. It was the intro to their last album, Alphaville. It was just to slowly build up, and then it went into it. It was like this is actually pretty fucking cool. Then I started getting into
Huh.
them, and I think it's just their feel and the aesthetic is the idea of like because their whole point of the band is supposed to be we're a culmination of what New York City is, and it's like supposed to
Oh,
be
okay.
like a very decadent but just messy and supposed to be
Hmm.
luxurious, but like a mess. Like they have like songs by like Rich Paint, like not songs, but they have a video of like the Rich doing orgies with like the poor people as like a shameful thing against them, but for them because it's a decadent kind of rich people luxury thing kind of. So it's supposed to be like
Wow.
how black metal is like supposed to be like the evil. But this is more of like the evils of man of like what kind of like the
I
decadent
can
and
dig that.
bourgeois kind of thing. At
I
least that's
love
the
that
vibe I get.
idea. Yeah, no, I absolutely love that idea and I'm all for it, but it's like as far as like the tunes, they gotta grab me. And those tunes just don't do it for me. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
maybe I haven't listened to the right song yet. But that's one band that I can't get onto yet. One band that what was the other part of the question now?
So I was thinking more of genres within metal, like the
Genres.
subgenres,
Okay.
because I
Subgenre.
know you're more into like tech death than me. I know. I want to
Yes, for
say
sure.
what's that?
That's definitely one of them. Super into the tech death. I'd have to say Meshuggah is probably my diehard all-time favorite. So Gent, as much as they kind of deny that genre label, but they are definitely the creators of it, I'd say. A lot of people, that's what a lot of people are saying anyways. But so I don't know. I definitely got to throw Gent in there, but I don't
What's
know
up?
that I was just saying so like Gent,
Mhm.
I definitely have to throw that in there, but I don't know that I could label it as my favorite because prime example, when I throw on the Gent playlist on Spotify, I get bored really fucking quick because a lot of those bands that slipped into that genre, I'm just not really on board with.
Yeah,
But then you have like the freaking pioneer of all, and man, I'm all for Meshuggah, so I don't know.
yeah. Is there any like certain subgenres that you can try? You either it's been a lack of trying, or you've tried and you just can't. Like for me, like I feel like a blind spot would be like power metal. Like I can't.
Yeah,
Like there's some,
yeah,
but
that's definitely one that I've strayed from since high school. I'd say high school was my biggest phase for power metal, and I really got into that just because of the combination of speed and heavy. And I felt like they throw in the gallops a lot, and I thought that the gallops with the double bass, that's
mhm.
like synchronizing. It's super badass sound, I think. So I don't know. I never really got into it for like that type shit, but I definitely respect it. the singing is fucking crazy good. Yeah, I don't know, not one that I stuck with.
I gotcha.
There's definitely some older tracks I can jam now and then, but I don't know. Yeah, not one that I'm pursuing.
I got you. Because my thinking of this is more of leading towards if we were to start doing reviews and like because my thought is like if we were to get like a Patreon or something like that where people can request certain genres, then they can say, well,
Mhm.
I know this person is more into this style. Have them look review this and see what they kind of think. Because for me, I was thinking I lean more towards like more of the raw type of stuff. Like I've gotten really into slam and like brutal death metal. Like I was listening. I feel like last year I thought that Acacia Strain's two releases were going to be my two favorite albums of the year. Then like near the
Mhm.
end, there was a band who I didn't even know they released it until like I found out about it, I think January, but it came out in like December or something. And they're just the brutal death metal of like knife. It's called knifing, and they're just
Hmm.
like I remember
Like
the band.
Nithing?
Yeah, imagine the word nothing, but it's an I instead of an O.
Wow, interesting.
And it caught me off guard because I remember they came out with a demo or an EP a few years ago, back when I first got found out about Slam, and it was god awful. Like I hated it, but they were promoting it so much, like this is terrible. And then they came out with this, and it is a complete change. Like it sounds fucking great.
Really?
It's still that like defeated sanity or Hazelbub or Brodekin style, to where it's like it's
Okay.
call it slam, but it's really just a lot of gutturals, a lot of like a train running over you kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
But they throw in a lot of cool guitar stuff every now and then to break it up, and the production on this new album, as opposed to the previous one, like there's still the like very common trait is those ping drums, that ping 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 ping, that annoying thing that a lot of people hate.
Yeah.
That's still there. However, you don't notice it because of the production. The mix, I was listening to it today. The mix is it's all double bass and guitars, and it's just a full frontal. You can barely hear it in the background is a ping ping snare, and it sounds fucking phenomenal. But yeah, the more of the raw stuff, as long as it has emotion, like it's portraying something like for the suffocate of knock loose, like that it was raw, it felt like there was emotion behind it, whether it's
Yeah.
anger or whatever you want to call it, but it felt like real.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just that
Also like
energy, man.
I loved it. Yeah, I still love deathcore. I've also been getting more into like the hardcore punk stuff. Like, I know it's just another deathcore band, but something about the band Body Snatcher. They had that more hardcore and just like it reminds me of like I Declare War with how negative it is. I don't know, for some reason I like the
Yeah.
negativity part, but it has a more of a hardcore
Yeah.
vibe, and I fucking
Yeah.
love it.
I checked out that Murder Eight track. It was good. It's just I dug it, but they're not one of my favorites, but it is cool. I really like his more of his death metal style vocal that he throws in there. He gets really heavy with it. I don't really care much for the chorus styles, but they definitely got some energy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I really, because for the longest time, I worked out every day to that album of There's This Heavy Void every day. And it's just something about those like venomous, just negative lyrics just get you going. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but
Yeah. I a band like that I really got into, or a band that really hyped me up working out, was Spite.
yes.
And I think that those guys are just so damn angry. And
Hmm.
it's just like it's one of those that's hard to not listen to and just fucking get your blood pumping, I feel like.
Yeah. And also, there's some other genres. Like I've been getting into some doom metal, like Monolord. They're escaping me now, but yeah, Monolord, Electric Wizard, even Primitive Man. You know, those are more on the death style. But then even some
Okay.
grindcore. Did I show you the band Hong Kong Fuck You?
No.
Just that grittiness. I
No,
fucking
I
love
don't
it.
think so.
They're
No, I'll have to check them out.
just pure grindcore, like just a mess, but so raw, and I love it.
Hell yeah.
I
A
saw
bit.
a video. They were doing a concert in a sewer.
What?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people around him, but
Wow.
yeah, and the vocalist will like vomit while he's screaming, but keep going. Like they're just a
Oh my
mess, but
gosh.
it makes me think of like remember that old Every Time I Die video where it's just like a war zone kind of thing. That's the stuff I like and I
Hell
still
yeah.
like, even though I can't do it as much now. But
That's awesome. Hell yeah. A band that makes me think of is like when you say raw is Stillbirth. They are
yes,
just like raw death metal to me.
Yeah. Although I haven't kept up with them, I want to say they've come out with more recent albums. I think
Yeah, I
last time
haven't
I
either.
listened to them was Revive the Throne.
Yeah,
I think that was
that's
what it was
with the
called.
gladiator on the front.
Hmm.
Yeah, that one was fucking brutal. I haven't really jammed them too much since then, but I think they're just playing a shit ton of shows. I don't know. Haven't heard much from them though.
I gotcha. So it looks like we're about to hit our time again. Um, but that's about most of the topics I was wanting to hit. Is there any
Okay.
other
Is
things you
this
want
where
to
we
talk
take
about?
our clothes off?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. I mean, only my camera's on, so you'll see me. I won't see
Yeah,
you.
true.
um, so yeah, until next time. See you next week, hopefully.
Death Metal Daddy.